Oscar Ofumbi is my name, and I'm from Learn in a Box. What Learn in a Box does is it's focused on financial inclusion for SMEs, where we're able to provide the link between the banks, the insurance companies, and the SMEs. And so today is a good day, and I hope that we can have a beautiful discussion. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Golooba JohnMark. I work with Buladde Financial Services. Buladde is a circle that was started by Uganda Land Board to transform communities through land development. So we basically provide finances to people to see that they can develop their land. Thank you.
All right, okay, I'll just drive straight, and I'll definitely go first with Mr. Oscar. You said you link, the links that you do between the banks and, other. I want to go straight to the question right away in your area of expertise. How do we ensure that people at the bottom of the pyramid are able to access and repay this credit that actually you even talked about?
Thank you. Our digital access is what is used to extend the credit down to the people at the bottom of the pyramid. And the beauty about digital access is that you have mobile money, you have a phone, you have our, let's say, a smartphone as well. So the digital access is about how you receive the funds. For example, you receive them through mobile money. You should make the repayment through mobile money as well. So that is how we are able to facilitate that.
Interesting. And now I want to ask Wendy, is technology the way to go, really?
Yes, technology is definitely the way to go. However, I think it's not.
Wendy, just get your microphone a little bit closer. Yes, thank you. Yeah.
I think technology is the way to go, but I still think there's a lot more that can be done.
Okay.
Especially in the fintech space, I think a sound business model is very important that focuses on the customer needs. One that investigates the actions and artifacts of all the touch points of a customer on a customer journey. The reason I say this is knowing who you're serving helps you really understand the data.
Okay.
And that way you are able to provide a product that actually best suits your customer without necessarily indebting them for the case of Jumo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's about knowing who you're serving.
Yes, you need to understand who you're serving.
All right, then it's a question that actually goes to almost everyone out there. Do you know who exactly you're serving, or you're just a gambler? Sometimes people just, you just go the way forward. But anyway, I'll go to you, Golooba, sir. Question is, what else that needs to be done?
Basically, it is very important for our people to embrace technology.
Yes.
You find that even the literates today have failed to fully embrace technology. You get to the bank, which have a self-help teller, but people can't access it. Most of them fear it. You'll find that even some people still fear to use ATMs to deposit their fees. So you find that most people have not really embraced technology. It is important that we sensitize our people. Now, when you're talking about the people at the bottom of the pyramid, there it is very important because it is a transformational process, which is going to take a bit of training these people, trying to provide these services as cheap as possible, trying to eliminate some kind of costs that are involved in transaction processes like taxes, because someone who is transacting, when you feel that is the amount they are sending or the amount they are transacting is not going to be fully delivered to the point where they're sending it, they feel as if it's a pinch in their pocket. So there is a lot to do to show them that there is need to embrace this technology to eliminate a number of transactional costs and risks I'll give you an example. People dealing with circles, they gather together to extend credit to their members. And you'll find most of the time credit is given in that group, in that meeting. So everyone knows that JohnMark has gotten money today. It is a risk. It means that on my way, I can be robbed. So embracing technology means that you are going to eliminate a number of risks on the way. And it is going to ease, also it eases the transactions and also improves efficiency. So we need to sensitize our people. It is very important. If we leave that sensitization away, then we may not get what we want. We may not involve everyone in this financial chain.
Yeah. Now, speaking about, involving everyone and also, sensitization, what's the best way do you think we can actually achieve this also at the same time?
One, we need to understand the needs of our people.
Yeah.
In the simplest way possible, so that we don't try to complicate things. People should get to know that when I want to use a certain platform, it's not going to be complex, it's not going to be so long. There must be simplified ways of transacting.
Yes.
We need also to find a way of grouping these people. I'm talking more about the people at the bottom of the pyramid.
Okay, exactly.
We need to group these people, make them have their clubs, have their groups, having their village saving organizations, so that we can easily access those services. We can easily train them. We can easily demonstrate how these services work. Because most of the times you'll find even us, this side, sometimes we get a bit tired of the processes. You say you're sending money, you go here, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. So you get tired of that process, which is a bit long.
Yeah.
So we need to simplify our processes so that these people can easily adopt.
That's a good one right there. Now I'll go to you, Daisy. Question is, how can the level 1 principle of tired KYC improve access of saving and credit services?
So, as my fellow panelist has just said, simplification.
Yes, simplification.
We can all agree it's easier to buy a phone line than it is to open a bank account.
Okay.
Because we use level 1 KYC. So we've really just simplified the process. We've then gone a step further and partnered with people who would need a lot more to open virtual bank accounts. So today, if you go to an MTN shop, you can buy a SIM card and have access to a saving account immediately.
Yeah.
After a period of time, you can get access to credit.
Yeah.
So level 1 has, the simple answer is simplification.
Simplification.
Yes.
I'll probably this is definitely going to be the last one. How can interoperability with technology like Mojaloop be instrumental to adoption of the formal savings and lending services? I'll definitely ask you, Wendy.
I think technology like Mojaloop for a company like Jumo would be quite a resource, would be a game changer, because it will provide us with an alternative source of data. And as JohnMark was saying earlier, to be able to serve the person at the bottom of the pyramid, we need data. But this group of people do not necessarily, let's say, often use mobile money services, so we have very limited data to work with. But if we are able to plug into an API where we can be able to get data from other sources, let's say if you have an Airtel line but also have an MTN line, which is the case of most Ugandans, even if you don't often use your Airtel line, you can be able to know that you're transacting on your MTN line, and you can be able to qualify for a loan on another line. So that access of data will help us produce a product that is best suited to that customer.
Interesting. Now, for a company like Lend in a Box, how do you think Mojaloop really will be instrumental? Thank you.
In my humble opinion, Mojaloop brings a concept that we have all been looking for.
Yeah.
And to learn from, to borrow from her statement, being able to connect to different parties
Yes.
becomes extremely important. What Mojaloop is able to do, even to address the tired KYC, is to enable us to share data across different areas. For example, I have a Circle account, I have a bank account, I have a mobile money account. All these are integrated.
Yes.
But with one ID, I'm able to then move my information through different places and access the service that I actually want. So I think, in my opinion, that's the Mojaloop concept is perhaps something that we've all been waiting for. So it's brilliant.
Interesting. I'll have a question from Mr. Patrick, if you can actually move forward. But in the meantime, as you're coming, I'll still forward the question to you, Daisy. Again, how does Mojaloop become very instrumental to the adoption of formal savings?
I think the key or the foundation of Mojaloop is interoperability.
Yes.
So it's putting all these 40 fintechs that we're hearing about today in one ecosystem. I don't have to be a customer of MTN or Airtel or Jumo or a particular bank or particular circle, but I can access financial services regardless of who I operate with. The other thing that I see Mojaloop does is it simplifies operations. Things like settlements, things that people would find hard to sit and look at Excel. So that kind of technology is really a good foundation to continue driving financial inclusion across the globe.
Beautiful. Yes, Mr. Patrick, please.
Thank you very much, first of all, for organizing such a wonderful function, given the conditions that we are in. You still pulled it off. Thank you very much. And the fact that we are being watched by 7.2 billion people in the world is another amazing thing. My name is Patrick Kizito from UGMart Limited. You can find us on www.ugmart.ug. And we are a fintech company, and we provide several services like online shopping, digital schooling, and support other fintechs through an open API, which you can still find on our website. So my question to the panel, the entire panel, is one of the biggest challenges that we have in this space of digital lending is cyber security. My question, therefore, is have you experienced any such incidents? And for each of you, what measures have you put in place to avoid the repeated occurrence of such incidents? So you can advise the rest of the fintechs here on how to handle such incidents going forward. Thank you. You can answer in whichever order, but I would like to hear from each of you.
Well, I think we'll definitely do that. So, like in one minute, you just give us what is probably reply to his question. He's eager to hear from all of you. Yes.
I think one of the key concepts of our two-factor authentication is very important. But importantly is that there is cyber insurance today, and it's offered by AIG Uganda. And what that does, it helps manage that risk from the investigation, communication, the public relations that relates to it, and then also dealing with the information and how it actually goes out. So they even support in terms of covering the cost of either public relations or legal activities, because a data breach means that a regulator will more likely fine you for leaking information available in there. And of course, the challenge with cyber is that it could be a rogue employee, it could be a third-party provider, and so you can't exactly find out where the problem came from. So it's important that if you can externalize the risk in terms of having either insurance or using two-factor authentication, it will actually be a lot helpful.
Interesting. Yes.
In terms of Jumo, what we do to be able to curb cyber risk We have a team that is dedicated, and we make sure we emphasize that everyone in the company understands the risk of data and data leaking. And good thing is this has now become something big across Africa where data has to be protected. All the partners that we work with, you find that they have their own principles that they follow, and we also have principles that we follow, and each of us are liable if anything happens to any customer's data, even if it's just one customer.
So you have like a group of LDUs?
Yes, so that we have to call it that, that we have to follow guidelines and say, if we breach this, this phrase in the contract that, you give out, let's say, customer MSICNs to someone that shouldn't have them, you have to be held accountable for that.
Oh, interesting. Yes, Daisy.
I don't know if I'd call it cybercrime or cyber fraud, but what I've seen in most of our markets is customer impersonation. So you get a phone call and someone says, I'm calling from MTN, please give me your ID number, please give me your PIN. So what we've done is a lot of customer education.
Yes.
Your PIN is your information, don't share it, because that's how we then allow you to access this saving, how we allow you to access your credit. So we've done a lot of customer sensitization around, your own information, don't share it, as well as having a robust technical layer that ensures that your phone is tied to your MSISDN, that just closes the loop of our accessibility with you.
Interesting. Yes, sir.
Cyber risk is a very big challenge currently as we try to embrace technology. And it's a fear to many people because a number of us have been caught unaware, and we have lost some good money in such kind of risks. What we are trying to do is to involve the technical teams to be part of us, to see that at least we continuously audit our systems to define those risk points and try to find ways on how we can, we can define remedies for such, because it is not something, the challenge is not something that is going to just stop, because some of the people who are coming up with such dangerous innovations are well educated. As developers develop new systems and go and advance in technology, definitely they are also advancing. It's like a parallel party.
Exactly.
Which
it's more like a bottomless pit.
Exactly. So we have to continuously see that we keep on auditing our systems to find ways of stopping such.
Oh, beautiful. In a minute, if we actually, I'll just give me a closing remark. I'll probably give each one of you a minute to just, give me a closing remark, but I'll start with you.
One, I want to thank you for this opportunity, and we need to know that we can't live away with technology. It is technology now, everywhere. For us, we are dealing in land, basically, and you'll find that currently, when you come at Uganda Land Board, we have a palm vein technology which we use to transact. It is no longer just looking at your face, pending a signature, looking at the ID. You have to use such kind of technologies so that you can transact on issues concerning land. That is how technology has gone. So if you are not ready for technology, then you are going to lag behind. We have to embrace it, but we have to find ways of making sure that we develop systems that are secure, so that our people can build that confidence and be able to trust such transactions we make on different platforms that are coming up.
Thank you very much. Mr. Oscar.
I think what we need to do more is around policy.
Yes.
Because policy really drives the adoption and the activities that we get involved with. For example, before you get a driving permit, you must have a TIN number. Now, that draws you into an ecosystem of tax and other sides of the activity. So if we have policy like that, then adoption will be a lot easier, and then we'll see other activities running across it, because when we talk about an ecosystem, we're talking about the people that are involved. The people at the bottom of the pyramid, we have the bankers, we have the entertainment, we have everybody within the system. But if we cannot have that kind of policy, it gets difficult for adoption, and that's, I think, very important.
Thank you very much. Yes, please.
I think one takeaway that we can, something that we can all take away is we need to be, or fintechs need to be more customer-centric across all business functions. So it doesn't matter if you're an engineer, it doesn't matter if you're someone in data science. You need to know that the customer is at the center of it all. And the reason why I say this is because at the back of your mind, with whatever you're doing, you will understand that the customer needs come first, which quickens like delivery and just makes work way easier. So if all companies have that at the center, it's just easier to make technology and work or any kind of innovations go faster without necessarily having to focus on just other things or like technology.
Okay, yes, my dear.
So just building on what all my fellow panelists have said, there's policy, there's customer focus, there's also driving strategic partnerships. So we continue to work with our governments, with our regulators, to drive financial inclusion, because really they allow us to operate. So we cannot forget their role in fintech.
Thank you very much. Please, can we give them a very big hand of applause?